Hello YouTube, Canadian Edge here, and time to look at a knife. We have on the table today the QSP Penguin, and some of you are familiar with the QSP line. They seem to like birds. They have the penguin, the falcon, the parrot, different ones. So this one is the Penguin. And the Penguin has a blade length of 3.06 inches. Open, it's 7.06 inches, and closed 4 inches. The steel on this, it is a D2 sheepsfoot blade, and the weight is 3.52 ounces. The handle on this, it is a Jade G10. And it's got stainless steel liners, which aren't milled. They could have reduced a little weight by milling those, but for whatever reason chose not to. Pocket clip, it is reversible. So it does flip over for lefties, which is nice for them. And it is a deep carry tip up. It is a liner lock and dual thumb stud opening, so the liner lock there, and you got your dual thumb studs for opening up. And it does have on the back some jimping there, which is nice. I like the jimping. And for those of you who do lanyards, there is a lanyard hole at the back. And so these guys, they have a copper washer pivot in them, and they work pretty decent. I do have the parrot as well, and I should have had it out here, but I didn't. It's a little smoother in the pivot than this one, but this one works pretty decent, so no complaints. It opens and closes, which is what you want it to do. So this knife, I have found in carrying it the last little bit that it is really good for slicing. I had to open some boxes, and it works great, like a utility knife for going into boxes and opening them up. I didn't slice up any vegetables or anything like that, but you could easily see that this would be great for that. If you're out camping, great for making, kindling wood chips for starting a fire. And it's a really good slicing knife. There is no blade play in it, up or down, side to side. And it sits down the middle, which is nice. So yes, the QSP, if you're looking for a budget knife, these guys are pretty decent because they're relatively inexpensive. You get D2, get the G10, and they seem to be rather well built knives. So yeah, what's not to like about that? And the price is right too. I think these were what, I want to say $38, $39 here in Canada. So let's look at some size wise. We have the Ontario Rat 2. So basically the same size. And we've got the Bug Out. It's slightly longer. The Bug Out is slightly longer, sorry. The point there gives it a little bit of advantage, so this is kind of a mid-size knife. We'll take a look at a couple others. We got the Spyderco Tenacious, which is obviously bigger, and Civivi Cogent, which again it's got some size on it. So yes, the Penguin is a mid-size type knife, which For me, I like, because they don't take up a lot of room in your pocket, and I don't really do a lot of jobs that require a big knife anymore. So a mid-sized knife I find is quite adequate for me. And I was kind of mixed. I didn't know quite what to think. The design on this, I do kind of like the aesthetics, but it's kind of a simple design to it. Nothing really that fancy or wow factor about it. But I do like it. It's aesthetically okay. Not great, but okay. Ergonomics, I really like the ergonomics on it. I find it very comfortable in the hand. They got the jimping in the right place for my hand. And the handle, it's a good size. Okay, I have a medium size hand. And so guys with large hands, you're going to find this knife is a little bit smaller in your hands. Probably a 3-finger grip more than a 4-finger grip, but for a medium-sized hand, it fits well. And so I really like the ergonomics. The knife is comfortable in your hand. You get a good solid grip. There's enough texturing on the G10. You probably can't see that. No, because my camera doesn't show that. But anyway, there is the texturing on the G10, and the jimping in that gives you a good purchase. And just the way they've designed the handle, which is nothing, fancy, but it has enough of a finger guard there to give you something to push against, and it makes your grip quite solid on this knife. So, and quite comfortable. And I think the knife is sharp. It was. I have opened some packages. Let's take a look and see what happens. Yeah, it still slices paper okay. Get that out of the way. And my favorite, the good old zap strap. See how it does with that. Okay, no real challenge there. Fake paracord, definitely no challenge there. And the nylon cord, again, not much of a challenge at all. Cut through that pretty easy. So it does have a decently sharp edge, and those of you who have D2 or know D2 know that it'll hold an edge for a relatively long time. A little harder to sharpen than some of your other budget steels, but it does the trick. Once you got it sharp, it stays sharp for quite a while. And this fits good in your pocket. It's a nice slim design, so you don't notice it that much when you've got it in your pocket. And they've got smooth edges on it, so when you reach into your pocket, it isn't a problem for you. It's decent size in the pocket, which is good. Of course, my one complaint with this knife and most knives is they have the raised pocket clip screws, which, I mean, it's very minimal, but it does add wear and tear on your pocket. So I would prefer the screws to be countersunk and flush, but hey, not the end of the world. And the pivot, as I mentioned earlier, is not quite as smooth as what the Parrot is. And maybe just this knife, it's smooth enough, but some of the other more expensive knives like the Benchmade and that, you obviously notice a difference, but you are paying more money. But even so, the Parrot, pretty much the same price as this. It has a smoother smoother pivot. At least my Parrot has a smoother pivot than this one. But that aside, it does operate well. No real issues with opening and closing. I did put some pivot lube on there, and that helped a bit. So makes it a little smoother. And it's a practical knife. It like I say, if you're doing a lot of boxes, cutting up boxes and opening packages, anything with slicing, this knife will do it. It has enough of a point that if you had to slice into something, it will do that too, but it's more of just a slicing knife for different little tasks and jobs that you might have around the house or in the yard and at work and stuff like that. So would I recommend this as an everyday carry? Yes, I would. It would definitely do the job. I didn't have any problems with it. And like I say, it's comfortable, so you will enjoy using a knife like this. But it just might not be everybody's style with the sheep's foot blade. I know not everybody cares for that style, but it is a good solid knife, and I know from my experience with QSP that the knives seem to be durable and uphold or withhold, not withhold. They work, put it that way. I'm just, yeah, my brain's not there today. So I would recommend this for an EDC, especially budget EDC, people looking not to spend a lot of money. I picked this one up at, I believe it was Warriors and Wonders here in Canada. You can find them online quite a bit. And so they are readily available and they are inexpensive. So yes, you guys shopping for a budget EDC, take a look at the QSP lineup and QSP Penguin and see what you think about them. All right, that is it for this review. Thank you for joining me. Hit the like, hit subscribe, leave a message. I will get back to you. And thanks for watching, taking time to watch. And I will be doing another review shortly. Until then, though, you stay safe and stay sharp.